we have come full cycle, guys. The grand finale. It is the reunion with the experts to conclude this season of Married at First Sight Australia. Welcome back, guys, and welcome to my channel, Posh Cat Eyes Unfiltered. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Now, on tonight's episode, we have the contestants walk down memory lane to their first day of the experiment, which is meeting their partners for the very first time at the wedding, at the honeymoon, the challenges and the tasks that was thrown at them, their mistakes and the transformation, the entire process. It is the hope that with walking down memory lane, the couples will be able to come to terms with what they have learned thus far. They probably will gain some insight as to where they are currently, in comparison to where they were, and hopefully some will take accountability for the wrongs they have done along the way. I mean, it's all about growth. In it, that's what it's about. You learn, you live, and you grow. For me, I am grateful to this show for the content and the opportunity it gave me to navigate the YouTube space. I mean, I only started this channel a few months back, and it was a right timing, I would say, given that Married at First Sight just almost kicked off immediately. And so I have just been able to learn as I go on this YouTube space, and Married at First Sight has just helped me be better, or just be consistent at learning, which is what I love best. You learn by the mistakes you make, and I have actually learned a lot from this show. And so grab your tissue, guys. It will be a warm and fuzzy moment for us to recap on tonight's episode. First up on the hot seat tonight is Ella and Mitch. The expert wanted to know what changed following the final vows, given they wanted to go, or rather they walked their separate ways, as it were. Mitch's response to this question was that he missed his family and needed a time to process what he was experiencing or what he was feeling, given that he was in a bubble of a pressure cooker show and needed that space to decompress and see where he's at in order for him to be able to move forward. And I'm glad that he had the time he needed to process all that has happened and eventually made the decision to be with Ella. So in his opinion, it kind of worked well for him, or rather I would say it has worked well for him. John asked what the status of their relationship was. Mitch replied, "We're dating, we're committed to one another, I'm loving this, I'm happy." Ella, is hesitant to say if she's in love with Mitch, but she is happy with her man. And we could see that they were all smiles and, good luck to them. I am really happy for them. It is worthy of note that Mitch is now acknowledging the help from the experts in finding him a match. And, well, Mitch, you're welcome. Selina and Cody are up next. The experts comment their struggle from day dot and how much they have grown and are accepting of each other. It all started, with the difference in nationality and how it related to his attractiveness or attraction towards her. It seemed like a deal breaker at the start, and they did crawl from nothing. I would say they did crawl out from the hole and appear to be happy or together. Or are they? Because Selina all of a sudden couldn't articulate her thoughts and suddenly became very emotional. And here comes the shocker, everyone. Cody is telling us that after the reunion from last night, they have both decided to go their separate ways. What? Boom. If you missed my gossip update, guys, please catch up on at the end of this episode. I called it. They got me confused last night with their lovey-dovey fake pretense or whatever. It's over. It's over for this too. Like, they are done. Who is surprised at this? No one really. This relationship was going to be a struggle, and I guess it was too much for Cody, because from what Selina revealed, Cody called the relationship off. It has to do with someone, moving in or accepting to move into state, and the other all of a sudden developing cold feet. I really don't know how that transpired, but from the get-go, Cody really wasn't into her. He pretended all the way through just so he could get his 20 seconds of fame, which he actually did. No surprise there that it ended the way it ended, dramatically, of course, but yeah, I'm not surprised. I don't think you are as well. Cody, for me, is a very confused individual. Grabbing a hand was the realization for Cody that Selina is not the one for him. Are you serious? It took all of a PDA for you to realize, oh, hang on, you're not the one for me. You're crazy. Selina revealed that she's in love with him. She's heartbroken, she's shattered, and she was just crying. He was asked by Mel if he sees a future with Selina. He hesitated at first, trying to downplay the question of flip it up, as he always does, gaslight everyone. But then when he was asked the second time, he revealed that he doesn't see a future with her. I mean, like, what a shit show, and what a shame for this too. What are young people? I don't understand, what do young people want, and why are young people scared of commitment? It is easy for you to commit to one another and work at it. It's a process. It's not going to be handed to you in a platter of gold. You need to put in the hard work. If you want something, you need to work hard at it. Build resilience, build patience, build the spirit of having a compromise. Like, you need to develop compromise, guys. If you're not willing to compromise with the person you want, you're not going to get far with the relationship. It's going to crash. It's going to crash. But what do I know? I cannot sit down here and give you relationship advice, because again, I need all the advice I can get. We all struggle at this, but the one thing that sets us apart is the fact that we are willing to try, and that's what is lacking with this group of contestants this season. They were not willing to compromise, not willing to make an effort, not willing to sacrifice and try. It's just sad. Oh well, on to the next couple on the hot seat tonight. Brent and Tamara. They were asked, what contact has been made since they both left the show separately, to which Tamara answered, none, zero. Flashback to the first time they met and the horrible comment, that was made from the first day they set eyes on each other. It didn't start off right. They tried to make it work. Why they still to the end of the show still beats me, guys. From the final day to the final vows, it's been ugly with these two. The room kind of just was, they started laughing at them, because you could see that this was not going to be a relationship that would thrive or last for whatever reason. Best known to the two of them. Tamara's response from the playback was she had been vilified and was made to be the bad person. I think the bone of contention, in my opinion, was the fact that Brent's job description wasn't what she wants. She wants someone, that probably had millions in his account. Unfortunately, Brent, doesn't have that given his job description, and she was just not ready for that. She wasn't ready to struggle with anyone. In fact, she doesn't look the part. I don't see her struggling with anyone, and she repeated that same comment over and over again. It is what it is. We got into the DM, slipping into the DM saga. And then Tamara decided to, again, she wasn't going to accept any responsibility for her actions, and decided to flip it on Mitch by saying Mitch called her and was being a little bit flirtatious from the phone call, and was making inappropriate remarks to her, to which Mitch, called her out and said, "You're lying." And again, she got caught in yet another one of her many lies, and she became very uncomfortable. She couldn't handle what was going on, and she hightailed it out of the room as it became too hot for her to handle. Samantha, ran after her to try and console her, and we can hear from the background how she doesn't want to be with someone who works in retail. Again, with the job shaming. I mean, there's dignity of labor, girl. As far as no one is begging you for a meal, you should be grateful that they've got a job. Please have some human decency to be, appreciative and respect people for where they are at, no matter how low you perceive their status to be. It's not your call to make, girl. It's not your call to make. They eventually, walk back into the room like nothing happened, and to lighten the mood, we cut to the jokester that is Al. We relive his goofy moments, from the season. That just made everyone happy. I guess it was the comic relief that was needed after the tense situation between Brent and Tamara. But it gets interesting with Carolina and Dion, being called to the hot seat, to which Carolina refused, that she did not want to be sitting close to Dion. She chose to sit next to her lover man, Daniel. While Dion again sat on the hot seat all by himself. No surprise, we've seen him sit down there all by himself a few times now. Dion reflects, back on the disaster that was their relationship. He gave all he could. He did give all he could, and it didn't materialize. Carolina said there was no connection, and that was why the relationship was dead on arrival. Well, girl, yes, we saw that, but you could have left the show with your dignity, right? Not trying to tarnish someone else's reputation from your nastiness and your behavior. John decided to replay to the group how the cheating between Daniel and Carolina started. Well, it was the room, you could see jaws just dropped open in the room because the salacious affair kicked off, and the other couples now get to see what we had seen. The problem is Daniel and Carolina have got no shame. They took no accountability whatsoever, weren't ready to accept their mistakes. It was just a shit show. It was hard to get reaction off of them, and it was just uncomfortable to watch for me based on the antics that was on full display. It literally there's nothing I can tell you. It was on full display. You need to watch this particular scene to understand why. There's just not much to say, because trying to relieve that moment, for me, it doesn't do me any good. It would not do you any good. We are not trying to promote such despicable behavior, especially on national TV. Now, you could do that in your private life. I mean, like, we can't judge you. It's a private life, but when it comes out to a public forum where people get to watch and see you and judge you, it becomes a little bit uncomfortable. I felt sorry for Dion, who had to sit there and be humiliated all over again. The betrayal was just too much. Carolina tried to apologize for hurting his feelings and was quickly shut down by Dion. Good on him, for not wanting to get involved in that craziness. Daniel was asked his thoughts, and he said, he's happy with what was on display. And, for me, they were both in denial. They were ashamed of themselves. But, of course, given that they were the one that perpetuated the action, they're not going to come out right and tell you, oh, we are ashamed and we're sorry. No, they're not going to do that. They were asked to apologize. Carolina tried, but it ended up a spectacular fail. She said she didn't regret anything, and Daniel just couldn't be bothered, really. Dion maintained grace and dignity the entire time. Good on this look. I wish you good luck, Dion, and I hope you find a girl that is deserving of your love. Such maturity, guys. We see Olivia and Jackson, it's their turn on the hot seat. They are amazing. According to them, Jackson has moved to be with Olivia in New South Wales. We flash back to when they first met and a rundown of their commitment ceremony. The social aspect and dynamics of the experiment was called into question, especially the conflict between Olivia and Domenica. Flashback to the couple's retreat where it all kicked off. It became obvious that Olivia's lies about the broken wine glass, was in fact a figment of her imagination. It did not play out the way she dramatized it to play out. The nude photo leak, all the nasty comments, and the vicious display by Olivia, it was a brutal playback, not a good look for her. If evil was a person, it gives a clear decision of Olivia. If you're going to be giving a clear description of evil, Olivia. That's all. I think we have literally beaten a dead horse long enough. So I'm gonna end this particular lady's issue because it's not worth the time and effort to rehash. No way. It's Dominica and Jack's, turn to take the hot seat. The breakdown of their relationship was revealed. The lack of reciprocal communication seemed to be the issue or the underlying issue between these two. Jack accepted his errors. He said that the lack of certainty from Dominica was the reason he became reluctant and didn't push the relationship any further once they were out of the experiment. Mel, the expert, felt there was still a spark and wondered why they're not making an effort. The expert wanted to know if they are willing to fight for what, is an undeniable chemistry between them. They answered, never say never. Typical Dominica, you just love her. She was optimistic at the same time, not exactly giving all or anything away. And with that, guys, we have come to the end of the experiment. Oh my god, it was a lovely season, guys. I have enjoyed recapping each and every episode. I mean, season 9 gave a lot, and I hope we are all working out from this season, taking out a thing or two, learning something on how to better our own lives. Because yes, trash TV is always a lesson to get, and that is what you want to portray or what you want the world to see of you. I am so happy that I get to share most of the my opinions, as crazy as they might sound, with you. And again, thank you for watching. My views are growing and I am actually surprised, but again, it's all thanks to you, because every night that I come on here to do this recap, I get like a little bit apprehensive, like, will this come out good, with this, but I am so grateful that I've just been able to just navigate through and learn to be a better communicator. So I am happy to have shared season 9 with you. I cannot wait, and I'm so looking forward to season 10. Until then, it's gonna be a bit more of me, but a bit of this, a bit of that, pop culture and trending topics. Until my next upload, guys, just stay safe and be kind to one another. Bye.